Yo, what's happening, people? It's Kanza, and today we have a little announcement before the video starts. We won EGX, which was a tournament in London. Really fun. I'll probably get into that in another video, but today's video is another MetaFi session where I'm going to be training with Kush, who's one of my students, and this session's basically featured about how to improve your offense, and it's going to be tailored for Kai, which is a character I also made. So you're going to see little bits and tricks that I kind of instill into my students so that they can go and train. And if you're interested in MetaFi, you want to be coached by me, here's the link, and just a brief description of what I do. There's various different training plans, and if you're interested, I also offer a free intro. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to it. Is against like the midweight characters like Soul and those guys, you may not have too much of a trouble dealing with them, but every Kai kind of has the same problem where they start fighting the speedsters and the big bodies, and then it starts going downhill because it's quite tricky, because you know how you want to control neutral. That's what Kai is really good at. Those characters can be quite tricky to contain, whereas the midweights aren't too bad. So yeah, without further ado, as I said in the doc, so with the regular characters like Soul, you're gonna end up structuring your neutral, and then it'll build into structuring your offense. So Soul's typically do something like this, right? Run up fast slash, maybe press it again, and then try and look for like a counter hit 5H. Now, the reason why this is bad for Kai essentially, and most other characters, is that you're gambling if you should press, and if you do, you get hit into like 1,000,000 damage, right? So what you do here, since you're playing about here in this ranges here, you want to be focused on screen control, right? So you don't want them to just run up to you for free. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. With Kai, you control the pace of the match, and that's where you use some of your good buttons like fast slash, 2S to check people running in, and also 6P because it beats a lot of mids and jumping attacks. So example like that, see? So this hits, like, you don't even have to be point blank. I know with Nago, right, you have to be a bit closer when you do 6P. Kai's hits, like, so say I'm standing here, the 6P will hit around this range, which is really good if they've extended a button. So I'll show you again, I'll walk back further. See? So they don't even need to be point blank. You can really like zone with this, and the recovery is quite small, so there's no real threat of whiffing this too much. So that's really good against most characters. I'll show you one more time. You can confirm to stun nipper like that, which is really nice. And this will lead into like some of your Oki. So here's an example. See? So they can't really wake up with buttons because you can check them. The only thing that you'd have to be afraid of is if they do like a wake up DP or super. Another example is fast slash. You can see the range. It's like they can't really get in from here. It's similar to Nago's far S, but a tad bit better, I'd say, because less recovery, really good pokes, disjoint, and you can confirm for free. Like that into stun dip, for example. And nice and easy combo. On counter hit, it's even easier. Same thing. And then you can just rinse and repeat that whole sequence with the jab. Super good.
But you said one of the regulars is Testament, yeah?
Yes.
So what if he's like zoning you? Like, what do you do then?
Okay, so Testament.
The long buttons. Yeah.
Oh, the long buttons? Or do you mean the projectiles?
The projectiles, yeah. So like, he'll be like at the end of the map, like of the screen, and then you'll be on the other end, and then you can't get in.
Yeah. So with Testament,
I have some issues with that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. With Testament, it's kind of tricky. I'll be honest, it is tricky because you're playing around two projectiles, which is the Grave Reaper, which is this one on the floor, right? And then they're doing the crow. Yeah. So the way you play around this, because I had to play against a Testament even yesterday in the tournament that I was in. So the way you play around it is the ground fireball Grave Reaper. You can kind of beat it out with your air fireballs, but you'd have to do the TK motion, which is this, right? So the way you do that, it's not jump and then fire like that, because if you jump and do it, you notice Kai jumps again.
Yeah.
So this is kind of bad because it depends how you're using it in neutral, but for the most part, you're making yourself in a counter hit state longer than you need to be. So when you TK it right off the ground like this, oops, like that, see how I hit the floor quicker?
Yeah.
It's much better. So it comes out instantly, you don't have to worry about getting counter hit. So I'll show you an example. Like that, right? So you play neutral, they do fireball, it goes over. Now, this is good for you simply because they've got shock state at this point. I'll see if I can do it again. There. Alright, so this is good because they've got shock state and they've put the little teleport sign on top of your head. So if that thing's there on top of you, that means Testament can teleport to that point.
Yeah.
If she teleports, she dies immediately because she's got shock state. All you have to do is press close slash, and then what happens there is you get your DP combo. That's like 200 plus damage. So they have to, at this point, try and use the crow, because the way the crow works is that they can use it two ways, which is they press crow and release it and it flies directly to where the heart is, or they hold the button and it just flies straight forward, like going high up into the screen, right? So might be a bit better like that, right? So you can do stun nipper, you're gonna run behind it, you catch them out, then you can do the same Oki, they can't get out. So this is something you typically see. See, so for the most part, you want to zone with fireballs. It can be the ground one or the air ones like this, and it might feel like you can't get in, but you just want to play around with what fireballs they're using. If they start doing the really light ones and they're not charging it at full screen, what you can do is this: just do this, run behind it. There's not really much they can do there because at most they'll try and jump out or they'll run up 6p. Because if they start doing this into crow, see, they can't do that. So they have to charge, because the charged Grave Reaper will try to get the recording right. There you go. So it'll beat out your charge standards like this. So this is where like the RPS comes into play in the matchup. It's like who's got the best mind games with a fireball. The good thing is if you can make the Testament start charging their fireball, what you can do there is start using Foudre Arc. So here's an example, like that. See?
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, so it's like a little rock, paper, scissors, where you play the fireball game, charge it occasionally, make them charge theirs. When you got a read on it, Foudre Arc is really good, or you can air dash. And if you think they're going to use crow, run up, stun nipper, but you have to kind of like guess between the two. Obviously her dashes and things, so your primary buttons against most speedsters is your 5k. This is a really good button, and it works well against Eno as well. So Eno, I can send you some clips on that as well. Cool. If Eno flies at you, 5k hits her, you can press it like 2 times and then get close slash as a combo. Against speedsters, it's like a really fast low that can check people dashing in. So see, really good. Yeah. And you can just kind of throw it out in neutral because there's not really much they can do about it. It recovers really fast. It's a really good button, and that's her dashing in with fast slash. This combos into 2D, and then you get your charge stun edge, Oki, right? 2k is also really good, especially when you're near the wall. The reason why, typically you'll see a lot of Kais now, they'll do direct clap as like your combo ender, and then sometimes like if they've got a read that someone's gonna dash button to try and check you, they'll press 2k. If it's a counter hit or you catch someone crouching, they die. Good for that. Especially 2k, as I said, because it links into clap, and then you get all of that. Yeah, that's really good against most of the speedsters, especially because most of them are quite like low HP. Apart from Geo, that's pretty much the round over. They die quite quickly, like Chip and Milio. And I'll get back to you.
I probably will ask you how to practice my confirms, because I seem to be dropping loads.
Okay.
Playing. That's one of the things I need help with.
So do you mean like doing like 2S confirms, like 2S stun nipper and stuff like that?
Yeah, like confirming all those things, like if you a combo, like you know when you hit a counter hit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I seem to be dropping them, but I guess it's just more practice than anything else, I guess.
Yeah, you can practice them. I'll show you really quickly. I know you said you got a meeting soon. Here, so what you can do, what I used to do when I was started out playing Kai, is and not just Kai, from other games like Street Fighter and stuff, is go into training mode, and depending on what you want to practice, set the block to random, and then turn off everything else so you don't get accidental, bans from the CPU, and then set the stance to crouch, right? So if you're practicing stun nipper into 2S into stun nipper, you're gonna have to be able to see when the opponent gets hit, and then when they get hit, then you buffer in the stun nip. So you can buffer it behind it like this. See? So this will really help with your confirms until you get like really good at it. So that's just something you practice, but you'll pick it up. Okay, there you have it. So that was my session with Kush. Really fun, covering like the basics and essentials for Kai. I'll be making some more content from Metafy, and I've also got some new video ideas coming out, so stay tuned. And yeah, thanks guys. Peace.